Hey everybody, it's Kit here. Welcome back to another crochet vlog. Sorry if I'm a little quiet or a little tired or what have you. I just woke up from a nap. My family is still sleeping because we all decided to take a nap because it's like really hot, and Mom's still under the weather. It's been 17 days and this is dragging on all of us. It's killing me. Yeah, but they're napping, so I'm like, screw it, heck yes, I am going to try to squeeze one of these in, or at least get this part of the video, the part where I speak, recorded. Yeah, hopefully. Anyway, so I don't really have anything to say, so let's jump right in. Okay. So previously on this, what was the last one? Hollow Eyes. Chapter 23, Hollow Eyes. Basically, Eli couldn't find Dimitri. Clover came back to the dorm room to get some stuff for Dimitri, and he was like, hey, he's really not gonna like this, but like he needs you. And like, so Clover took her to Goma, took her to the hospital ward, and it is Dimitri's mother, Rain. Raid. Raid is a siren, and she's dying. Sirens have to make deals, have to find like true love and all of this, and in exchange, if they do all of that, then they get a moonstone, which allows them to be on land and to basically, survive as whatever they need, above water. They are not human, but rather they kind of get the choice of going back and forth. Raid never went back in the water, and that's totally her choice, totally cool, but her pendant, her moonstone pendant is drained, it's gone, so she's dying, and she made the choice to die with her son and husband instead of going back to that life. Now Eli is like, oh hell no, not on her watch. What's the point of having magic, of being a traveler, of having all this information at the tip of her fingertips if she can't help those who she cares about? And Dimitri was also really an ass. He didn't want her there to see him like break down and like all of that, and it hurt a lot. But she's still going to help. Blake kind of followed her. She went into the elevator and is like talking the entire time because she's going to work, because that's where the information she's hoping is going to be. And he's like, wait, you work here? Wait, what is this? And yeah, so now that's out, at least for that. So yeah, that is that. Now chapter 24, right choices, hard feelings. Oh, and I think the project is going to be squares. So many squares. I am like working on squares that should have been done. Basically, I'm 6 months behind, and this thing's due in September. Yeah. Squares. Yeah. Okay. I hardly left the office all week, just searching and researching the database. We had so much. Surely one of them could help, right? Nope. Everyone, including Peter, pitched in, searching the vault, paperwork, electronic record database, even going on trips. Nothing. Not a single thing. Now it was Thursday, and Raid's time was almost run out. She was at peace with it. Blake was keeping me updated, as I hadn't set a foot in the hospital ward all week, but Narcus and Dim were going crazy. Still, even if she was down to a few hours of life, I refused to give up. There had to be something I hadn't tried yet. Warily, I searched my backpack for the protein bar and energy drinks I had stashed in there, only to find a relic bag tucked away. Dracula's button. Oh no. Wildly, I checked my calendar. It hadn't been a week yet, had it? Almost. Oh no. I had to go now if I was going to be within his time limit. As quick as I could, I checked my map and my pictures, finding a tiny deserted tiny island with scant trees and not much else. Perfect. If anything went wrong, no one would bear witness to my murder and the wrath of a vampire. Less witnesses meant less collateral damage in my world. Feverishly, I ripped off some paper, writing a note for whoever would be reading through my desk in my, hopefully, not long absence, and stashed the picture and the note in my top drawer, then locked it for good measure before zipping up my bag and yanking it onto my shoulders. I didn't have much time left. I rushed out of my office, running into the open rift. I crashed into the sandy beach, a wave splashing up behind me, soaking me up to my neck. Thank goodness my bag is waterproof. A single large boulder sat on the beach not far from me, basking in the moonlight, providing a perfect view of endless ocean all the way around. Sighing, I trudged towards it and sat down, shivering at the continuous, cool breeze coming off of the serene waters. Such a gorgeous place for a dangerous meeting. I put my backpack down in front of me and I pulled out 3 things. An energy drink, a protein bar, and the button. I took a few minutes to prepare myself and eat, taking the last swig of my drink before shoving the trash back into my bag. It was time. Dracula, I said finally, the breeze carrying my voice far, far away. Would this actually work? Nothing happened. Drac. Hello. Dracula. My voice got louder and louder, yet no one appeared. At least in front of me. You called, little dove? A voice said directly behind me, minty breath blowing on the back of my exposed neck. Oh, you are an ass, Drac. Ah! I yelped, falling off of the boulder. To his merit, Dracula didn't laugh, keeping a pleasant smile on his face as I crawled backwards in the sand. Do you enjoy scaring the living daylights out of me? I just damn near said diving laylights. Taking deep breaths was doing nothing for my rapidly beating heart as I stood. Of course, it brings me great enjoyment. Not as much enjoyment as listening to your quickened heartbeat. All of that blood. Okay then, just creep me out. Why don't you? Okay then, I have what you want. The unspoken question was, would he kill me once he had it? Reading my mind, he spoke. Thank you. I understand this week has been a bit difficult for you. But to reassure you, I give you my word, I won't kill you once I have my button back. His lips quirked up. Even he found the humor in a button. I was surprised. Why would he want me alive? All right then, here it is. I held the bag out in front of me, in between us. We were standing far apart, yet if he wanted to, he could be in front of me without me acknowledging it in a single heartbeat. Talk about intimidation. Ah, yes. Thank you, he said sincerely. Yet he didn't step forward and take it, instead smirking at me devilishly. But, since you have been so kind as to get it back for me, I have something for you. 2 somethings, actually. But you may only choose one. I didn't have a good feeling about this as he pulled something out of his jacket, which I only just now noticed the missing button was in the middle of the line of buttons. Is that... Where did you find that? My voice broke, and I felt like I was going to fall over when I saw what he had dangling in his hand. My father's necklace. Ever since I could remember, he had always worn a shark-tooth necklace, the tooth of a large, monstrous shark, but he never took it off. Ever. Not even when I wanted to examine it closer as a child. He instead got me my own, but it wasn't as cool as his. No matter how much I asked him, he would never tell me about it, saying, "Another time, Eli." But that time never came. He would never part with it unless he was dead. I felt a small part of me break down. A small, foolish, childlike part of me that had hoped that my daddy was still alive. But now I knew he wasn't. And now here it was, in Dracula's hand. A part of me that I was missing and wanted back desperately. Does it matter? He knew as well as I did that it did matter. But he wasn't going to say where it was, where he got it, no matter how much I begged. So I didn't. He raised his free hand, smirking again. Now, before you make your decision, don't you want to know the other thing I have for you? He continued, smiling a bit wider as I struggled to speak with a large lump in my throat. I know what you seek, and where you can find it. Drink break. I know what you seek, and where you can find it. Raid. I was seeking a relic for Raid. It was either that vital information that could save a life, or my dad's necklace. Dim's need, or my own. I always knew what the right decision was. I knew when I was 6 that stealing was wrong, so I paid for my candy. I always made the right decision, even when I was 10 and had to tell Mrs. Burns that it had been me who had broken her window with a soccer ball. Making the right choices isn't supposed to be easy, Eli. It's supposed to hurt. You have to work for it. That's how you know it's the right thing to do. How many times has Pop said that to me over the years, and yet it's only now when I truly learned the meaning of it. I struggled with the burning in my eyes, threatening to overwhelm me. All the while, Dracula watched, smirking with that stupid smirk of his. He knew how hard this would be for me. Some people just want to watch the world burn, the sins of the many overcoming them. Bitterly, a tear fell down my cheek as I stared at my father's necklace. Over the years, it had become as precious to me, seeing it around my dad's neck as it was to my dad. And now, I was going to give it up. It's the right choice, but it hurts so dang much. I took several deep, steadying breaths and made my choice. What will save Raid's life? Prolong her time. Even as the tears fell down my cheeks, I stared boldly into Dracula's eyes, showing him that although it was a nice trick, I was still going to do the right thing. Someone else's need of my own personal wants every single time. Dracula shaking his head at me like I was a child who had disappointed him. Eli. Always taking care of everyone else over herself. Dove, why not take a day just for yourself? Get away from those pesky brats. Take a vacation. They can get by without you at the office for a few days. Let the Walker boy drown himself in guilt and sadness. It's his problem, not yours. I can't tell what accent Dracula is suddenly, and we're not going to question it. I bit my tongue to keep myself from saying anything stupid. He was right in many ways. But it was human nature to help, just as it was human nature to be selfish. I was raised a certain way, and there was no changing that. Will it prolong her time, Dracula? He sighed a long, insufferable sigh as he neatly tucked my father's necklace, lost me again, in his coat. Yes, she will be able to live a long human life, all of that good mushy feeling. The object, or should I say objects, are small ocean pebbles that litter the ocean floor that have absorbed enough of the moon's rays to gain power of their own. They will look different than the rest. Now, you can scour the sea's bosom for such pebbles, but she has such little time remaining, I would give her about 2 hours left. He shrugged as I internally freaked out. 2 hours? What? How can I get these pebbles in time? Or the infinitely more dangerous option is to find one of those sirens' precious moon temples. You know, the ones they guard with their immortal lives? At the very center of these temples is a shrine dedicated to the moon. They painstakingly search the ocean floor, collect these pebbles, and place them lovingly at the base of it. Every moon temple has one with plenty of pebbles, but like I said, it is the more dangerous option. Is your life really worth a chance at saving hers? It wasn't really a question. He already knew what I would do. Snatching my bag from the sand, I bowed deeply, showing my gratitude and respect to the vampire lord as he said one last thing. Solving other people's problems will kill you one day, my little dove. Do try and make it not today, Then he was gone, the whispers of the wind, all that was left, taking my father's necklace and the button with him. Blowing out a breath, I knew I had to focus. I couldn't find a temple and get back with the pebbles in under 2 hours if I blubbered all night. Okay, Eli. A moon temple hidden deep under the sea in her bosom. A meditative trance overtook me as my magic swirled and surged around me. For the first time, I had ultimate control over both of my magics. It was the oddest feeling, sensing the ocean and its bountiful life surging under my feet, seeing with my traveler's eye the rifts and the wind being blown away slowly like the clouds. Then I found one about a mile away from my location, captured in the wind. Slowly I raised my hand and pulled the wind back with the force of a hurricane. The waves rose, threatening to tear me away from gravity's warm embrace, the water lapping at my legs, the tingling numbness spreading. My hands glowed with the power of it all as I kept pulling until the rift was there right in front of me, beckoning me. So I held my breath and jumped through. Yeah. I have something I want to say, but I will wait till the end. I splashed into the deep ocean, slamming gently into the ocean floor, dirt and sand particles rising everywhere. Air. I thought about it and all of a sudden I could breathe. In the water. There was no air bubble over my head, but I could breathe all the same. One problem fixed. Yeah, let's not dwell on that problem. Now all I had to do was infiltrate the biggest temple-like structure I had ever seen in my life. It was covered in green algae, fish nibbling on the stuff as they swam by, sharks, stingrays, and eels swimming around looking for prey, and the sirens with sharp-looking tridents swimming around. Glowing jewels floated on seaweed tethers all over the seabed, the only thing shining through the black gloom of the deep ocean. I thanked my lucky stars I hadn't exploded in a gooey mess when I appeared through that rift, the magic running through my veins, fixing the pressure in my body somehow. A shrine at the very center. I don't have time to search, much less fight off the marine life. And I don't want a trident stuck through my ribs. But could I pull off my crazy plan? I would not want to be her. No, thank you. A riptide could potentially get me through the masses of dangerous creatures and help me find the room quicker. I felt a change in the ocean with my unspoken command, the water stilling as the currents rearranged themselves, then whoosh. The riptide came out of nowhere, throwing everything out of whack and taking me on one heck of a ride. Screaming, I was towed along, water rushing down my throat, so I quickly closed my mouth, eyes widening as I rushed towards the closed door of the temple. Oh, no, open. Holding my hands out in front of me, the doors pushed open and I missed being squished on them by mere centimeters. Left, right, straight. Each time I narrowly avoided becoming a messy, bloody pancake on the walls, instead smacking my knee, my shins, hitting my wrist on all of these stupid corners. It hurt, but that wasn't the worst part. The sounds I heard, the eerie screams of the sirens, made my blood run cold, numb as I was in this freezing water. They were after me, screaming for my blood, my head. No doubt if they caught me, it wasn't going to be a quick death. I didn't want to stick around to see if the legends were true, if they left their prey alive to eat them piece by piece. Faster, Riptide, faster! The water complied, but it still wasn't good enough. I hadn't yet found the center in this annoying labyrinth of corridors, and the sirens were still faster than the Riptide, their screams becoming louder and louder behind me. Then I turned to the left, and there were 3 sirens coming straight towards me. Gasping and spluttering, water everywhere, I thrust my hands outward and forced a huge air bubble to push the water, and coincidentally, the sirens up, their angered cries muffled as they hit the ceiling harshly, writhing in pain. "Don't look behind you, don't you dare," a voice whispered in my head, and I was too scared to argue. Now I was riding a wave, breathing salty water and a mostly formed air bubble. Then all of a sudden I fell forward, the air bubble halting all water, as I was flung down a large hole, moonlight blinding me as I hit the damp, murky ocean floor hard. Groaning, I got up, limping heavily. My nose felt broken, sticky blood filling my mouth as I spluttered and spit it out. I was in the center of the moon temple with a large shrine in front of me. I had landed on thousands of pebbles. The sea pebbles I was here for. They looked exactly like a regular pebble, but there was something different about them. Something magical. The shrine itself was a large, smooth, round boulder, like a stone round table. It was exactly in the center of the room, soaking in most of the brilliant moonlight. I looked up, blinking at the light flashing in my eyes, and saw that none of the water entered this inner sanctum. Maybe the moon wanted her privacy, even from her children. Something was watching me, but it wasn't malevolent, just neutral. Looking down, I was reminded why I was here and crouched down, snatching several of the strange bubbles. "I'm sorry, I have to. I wouldn't come in like I did if it wasn't an emergency. A former siren. She's dying before her time, and I don't know why, but I have to fix it. Her moonstone is empty. I don't know why it's emptied prematurely. I pray you understand why I am doing this." I spoke to the entity, unseen eyes watching me. I filled my pockets, standing with a wince once more. The sirens were pissed, the tips of their tridents sticking through the air barriers. Upon closer inspection, there seemed to be several archways to the massive hole that led to the center sanctum, but that was all trivial now. I felt the presence understand, as if letting me know it was okay. I put the pebbles in my soaked backpack, exhaustion creeping into my chilled bones. "Thank you. I really appreciate this." I spoke once more, taking a breath as I yawned in spite of myself. Now to get back to the hospital ward. Immediately I clenched my ears, my eardrums vibrating really fast and shattering, blood leaking from my ears. One of the sirens had stuck their head through the air barrier and was screaming. I had to go now. I fell through the floor as a rift swallowed me in my time of need, and I crashed, twisting my ankle on a janitor's mop bucket. You know, the ones with wheels? Also, it's not on, it should be in. I hit my head on the metal shelf and it gave way, falling on top of me. The broom was poking me in the butt and it smelled overwhelmingly like bleach, just soaked into my clothes. Struggling under the wreckage, I hissed as bleach got into my skin, into all the cuts and scrapes. It hurt like all get out. But it didn't matter, I had to get out of here and to raid. I had what she needed, I couldn't let her die now. Not when I was so close. So I hopped up to a stand, the foot still stuck in the stupid janitor's bucket, in severe pain. I fell out of the janitor's closet and took off hobbling as fast as I could, using the mop to support myself and skating on the janitor's bucket, racing past several bewildered nurses. Hang on, Raid. Just hang on. And that is that. Okay. Yeah, so my thought that I had earlier was... Didn't I say something similar during the Halloween maze thing? Didn't she kind of do something similar? Like where both of her magics were working nicely? I don't know. Maybe. I think a parent is up. Either way. I got this part done. I'm happy. Yeah, I really liked that. If anything, I might describe the temple. Obviously describe the temple. Just, more detail, more depth to that section. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I think Dracula's kind of an ass. But he is right. I mean, Eli does take care of people a lot. That's kind of what she does, and it's funny that is a thing, at least for Eli and Valerie, my two main characters for, Valerie is for Witch's Debt, which I haven't showed on this channel or anything. I'm not sure I've really talked about it or not. I've spoken about it briefly and showed some stuff on it on Twitter, but here I haven't. And then Eli, of course, is Lost in Time. Eli, you know, they both take care of other people, but very different ways. Like, Eli does have a support system. Valerie has none. Valerie doesn't have a single support system. Eli does have it, even if I don't show it as much in this first draft. But in the rewrite, I hope to show it more. You know, they both take care of other people. It's just kind of ingrained in them, because it's kind of ingrained in me. It's a trait that they both got from me. Taking time for themselves is a difficult concept for them when their friends are hurting, when there's people for them. But a key difference is that Eli at least has that choice. She has the choice. She has the ability to take the time for herself. Valerie, because of her situation, she does not have that luxury. She doesn't have that option. Yeah. There's a lot of similarities between the two, but there's enough key differences. And then obviously their personalities are also very vastly different. Their stories are different. It's kind of interesting to see the similarities and the differences. I might consider actually, like, breaking that down. I don't know if anybody would be interested. I don't know if anyone's interested in a Witch's Debt crochet vlog after this or not. I don't know. That is the story that I am working on actively right now, actually. Well, technically I'm working on a prequel, but after that, then I'll be working on that, because that's just kind of where my head is, and I'm at that point where I can work on that easier. With Lost in Time, I'm going to finish the series, and then I'm going to go through, like, with a fine-tooth comb and kind of really take some notes chapter by chapter, because with The Witch's Debt, I know what I'm keeping, I know what I'm doing. With Lost in Time, I don't 100%. Like, I do, but I don't. I just need some more TLC, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, but yeah, Dracula had that necklace. That's just mean. Eli made the right choice. She caught the hard feelings, and now she's got her ankle in a janitor's mop bucket on wheels, and she's got the moonstones, and she got it. Of course, at what cost? That's a great question for another time. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a good one. I'm going to try to get this video out for the 29th of June, hopefully. That would be awesome. And I think at this point we've got 3 parts left, I think. I'm not entirely certain. I think was I using this? Yeah, I was using that, I think. And then it should be... Right? Yes. Yep, so next time we will read chapter 25, A Forgotten Conversation. So that'll be fun. I've also forgotten the conversation, so that's great. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts, if you have any. If you don't, that's totally okay. And I will see you guys hopefully this next week, because I'm going to try to... Only one real month left, so I'm going to try to at least wrap up some of these, if life permits. Life's being a bitch right now. Anyway.